Today I would like to show you a Marantz CD94. In this device, like many other devices that have the same CD tray construction mechanism, often occurs the same problems with the rubber belts. There are a total of 4 belts, 2 on the right side and 2 on the left, and often the problem occurs that these wear out. The CD drawer is then no longer pulled all the way down and will be automatically re-ejected. This isn't an electrical defect, but is simply due to the aging of the belts or because of the bad quality of the materials used to produce these belts. When changing the belts, there are some problems that can occur. So in this video I would like to show you how you can avoid these. First of all, we have a new belt set, 4 blue belts. These have been developed with new dimension to circumvent the problems with the all black ones. What do we need for the installation? First, a Phillips screwdriver, then a small slotted screwdriver, a needle nose pliers, if available, a magnet. So let's just start by sorting the blue belts on the instruction that is included. They have different dimensions, so I want to sort them out like they will be installed later. This one goes here. That's the front thick one. That's the thinner one. And this one goes like this. Then we already know where they go and we can't mix them up. Then we start removing the old belts. First, we lift the CD drawer all the way up by turning the drive wheel backwards. You can see that the CD drawer is moving upwards and then we push it forwards, just as far as it goes. Then I first take the Phillips screwdriver and make some space by loosening this post with the end contact switches. So that I don't lose any screw, and also later the little safety rings, I magnetize the screwdrivers by rubbing it a little with a magnet. The screws look like they're made of copper. Copper is actually not magnetic, but they're just copper plated. Then I carefully move the post with the end contact switches backwards so that I have some more space to work. Next, I have to loosen the snap ring here. Of course, I have to be careful that it doesn't fly away. Then I pull off this drive wheel together with the belt, while I hold the steel shaft tight, otherwise it could slam down. Then I take out the wheel. We just have the first belt removed and we already see the next one, a smaller one. We will change this first. I pull it off the small wheel. Then the first new belt is mounted, which I simply put on the large drive wheel by hand and then tension it to the small wheel. Next, I turn the wheel to make sure that the belt is sitting properly. I take the next blue belt, the bigger one. First I put it on the small wheel and then on the drive wheel. Before I push the wheel drive up onto the shaft, I have to lift it in a way that this small pin here sits in its track. Then I can push the wheel all the way up. And now I put the snap ring back on with the needle nose pliers so that the wheel is secured and can no longer jump off. And then you can screw the holder on again. It's fitting only once, you cannot really do much wrong. So the first side is finished. I turn the device around so we can have a look at the other side. Here we see this plastic part. This is the extension of the power supply to the front panel. I will remove it so we have a little more space to work with. I first press the power switch button so the extension moves backwards, and then I detach this part from the power switch. So I can pull out the whole thing of the front panel and put it to the side. Now we can see the two remaining belts. I detach the front one and push it to the side. Now I can replace the small one. Like on the other side, I put the small belt simply on by hand and tighten it on the small wheel with a screwdriver. Turn once to set it properly. So now the spacing tool comes into play. We have these steel cables running over the drive wheels. If we now pull off the drive wheel to change the belt, it can happen that the steel cables come off. Putting it back on causes a considerable additional expense of time. To prevent that, we use this tool. First, I put it on the front drive wheel. Then I bend the steel cables to the side. So I can put the spacing tool in. The tool keeps the wheels at a distance, and I can now detach the wheel without loosening the wire rope. Now I remove the old belt through the gap, put the new one on, and then immediately put the drive wheel back on and secure it with a ring snap. After that, I can remove the spacing tool again by bending it with the needle nose pliers and pulling it out. As usual, I put the belt first on the big wheel and then tension it on the small one. Now the extension for the power switch can be put back into place. Pull back the power switch and clip it in. By this, the installation of the rubber belt is finished. Now, it is often so that this guide trail here on the right and the other one on the left become gluey because of greases and dust that are making the movability of the load very difficult. With a cloth and with some alcohol or benzene, old greases can be removed. This trail can be cleaned with a cotton swab, since it's difficult to reach the lower side of the rail. Then I apply a micro drop of sintered bearing oil to each rail. Since the sinter bearing oil has an enormous creeping capacity, do not apply more than a micro drop. Do not use mineral oils or lubricants, they will immediately increase the sliding resistance. Before I push the CD tray back in, I make sure that the drive arm is all the way up, otherwise it will block. Then I push the tray back in. I also push it back and forth a few times so the oil can spread. And that's it. Now, for controlling the functionality of the device, I put the power plug back in. And the Marantz CD94 works again.